Skateboarding is officially coming to Riders Republic on September 26th, and even though I haven't been playing the game for very long, I am incredibly excited about this because just watching this trailer takes me back to the days of the original Skate and how much I enjoyed that game. Now, as we talk about this trailer, the gameplay you're going to be watching in the background was recorded in the BMX category of Riders Republic, so that's kind of what you're hearing in the background. You're not hearing the sound from the trailer, but again, we're going to go back through some of the things we are seeing in this trailer and really go in depth and dive into how I feel about them, but also I want to hear from y'all as to what you're excited about in regards to the skating add-on that is coming to Riders Republic. And of course, one of the biggest things that jumps out at me, or at least makes me excited, is the social dynamic of being able to enjoy skateboarding in a massive skate park with a bunch of your friends. That, to me, is one of the most exciting aspects of really any of these sports anyway, and I think having skateboarding in this game is only going to expand the variety of those experiences even more. Now, as I've been getting more familiar with the controls in the game, and especially getting more familiar with the BMX controls in particular, I've been having a lot of fun with it, and if the skateboarding plays anything like the BMX, I think they are definitely going to have a really fun dynamic on their hands, and I think they're going to have a dynamic that a lot of people enjoy. Now, of course, are there going to be people that are going to say, well, you might be able to get a more realistic experience from this game or this game? Sure, I'm sure they're going to have people that are going to say that, but I think from the standpoint of people that are looking for a game that is deep enough in terms of a trick system to be interesting, but also has a really fun feel and a really social feel, I think having skateboarding in this game is going to be absolutely huge. And it's going to add, or really just going to add itself to the already enormous list of sports disciplines that are already in this game. Now, I don't really spend a ton of time in a lot of the different dynamics outside of the ones focused around bicycles, because that's kind of what I'm interested in as far as mountain biking and downhill MTB and BMX and things like that. Snowboarding is also really, really fun in this game, but admittedly, I don't spend anywhere near as much time in it as I do in the bike-focused categories. Now, let's go back through that trailer again, but let's slow it down. Let's get a little bit of a slower look at what's going on. Now, one of the biggest things that you notice right out of the gate is this camera angle, and not only this camera angle, but the sort of stylized camera itself, the stylized camera lens, this sort of fisheye effect that they have going on. Now, is this just an effect for the trailer, or is it an actual camera view that we're going to see as an option going forward? I don't know, because it sort of cuts in and out of it. And also, you know, when you see somebody fail on an obstacle and then get back up and attempt the same obstacle again, that's definitely a dynamic that not only rings true for skateboarding in general, but I think rings true for a lot of the dynamics in this game. So keep that in mind. I feel like we are going to see a lot of people that are going to be sessioning these obstacles, right? They're going to pick a certain rail or a certain concrete block or a certain staircase, and they're going to session that over and over and over and over again, because I think that in particular, and especially doing that with your friends, is what develops really not just the camaraderie aspect of it, but it's what brings to light the spots on the map that lend themselves the best to different types of disciplines, right? Because there are spots on the map that lend themselves really well to BMX, and I'm sure there are going to be spots on the map that lend themselves really well to skateboarding as well. But I think the areas of the map that lend themselves well to BMX are also going to lend themselves pretty well naturally to skateboarding as well. Now, another thing that I think is going to be really exciting is to see how the game actually plays with the skateboards, and in particular, how it plays when you're transferring from either one bowl to another one, or when you're sort of grinding the lip of a pool or a bowl like we saw there, or when you're transferring from like one rail to another. The smoothness of that, I think, is going to be a big determining factor in how well people latch on to the skateboarding gameplay. And I do really hope that they get that right, because I think what Riders Republic does really, really well is it's one of those, you know, easy to pick up, tricky to master type experiences. And I love those, right? Because, you know, there's definitely a inviting feel to the game in the beginning, but the more that you play it, the more you realize, holy crap, it actually takes a lot of practice to get to a level where not only do you feel really confident in your skills, but you also feel really confident competing with other players in the game, which I am nowhere close to that level, and I will not claim to be, because I am still very heavily trying to work on my skills. My skills in this game are not anywhere close to where I want them to be, but I'm having a blast playing the game, and I'm having a ton of fun with it, so that's why I play it. And I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, that's why we all play these games, right? Because they're fun, because we enjoy the experiences we get from them. And yeah, we may crash sometimes. I crash a lot in this game. But you know, you're not gonna learn anything in a game like this unless you crash over and over and over and over, trying to attempt and reattempt the tricks that you want to learn. And you know, playing the BMX dynamic of this game has really driven that point home, like, a lot. Also, I had no idea what that trick was, and I had no idea how I pulled it off, no idea how I landed it, and then immediately crashed afterwards. So, you find yourself in a lot of situations like that in this game. But either way, enough rambling on about that, let's go back to the trailer. Now, another aspect of the trailer that I do want to talk about and bring up is, of course, the character customization aspect, the character style aspect to it, right? You want to be able to dial in the exact style of character that you like, and I think that as long as they add enough kind of skate-specific character customization options and outfits and things like that, I think people are going to be happy, because at the end of the day, you know, character customization is important in a game like this, but I don't think it's necessarily the peak importance, right? Because you want the game to play smoothly. Like, that's the absolute most important thing in a game like this, is that the gameplay feels smooth, it feels engaging, and it feels like something that you'll want to come back to. And I think as long as you can get your character pretty close to how you want them to look, you'll come back for the gameplay, right? You'll come back for the way the game plays and feels, and having the character customization there is definitely a really nice bonus. Also, I really hate the fact that I missed that rail. This section would have been so good if I hadn't missed that rail or smashed into the wall at the end of the rail, but again, you know, practice will hopefully eventually make me a lot better in this particular area, because I do love this area and I do love playing around in it. Now, is the skateboarding DLC something I see myself spending a lot of time in? Yes, I actually do see myself spending a lot of time in that DLC. I think it's going to be something that I'm going to really enjoy playing, because what's really cool about games like this, and Riders Republic in particular, is that if you really enjoy, you know, trying obstacles over and over and over again until you get that line that you want, or until you dial in that specific trick that you've been trying to land for the past hour, like, that's one of the things that attracts me to games like this the most. Because once you do finally dial in that line that you've been trying to get forever, the feeling of not only like the satisfaction of it, but like you genuinely feel like you accomplished something when you really dial it in the way you saw it in your mind. You know what I mean? And I think that element of reward is gonna need to be there in the skateboarding dynamic, because if that dynamic isn't there, it's not gonna feel great at all, and it's not gonna keep anybody coming back. So as long as it's able to give you that feeling of success, then I think it's going to do really, really well. Because when you nail a trick combo on one of these BMX bikes, for example, like, and even now in my very, very, very early career in this game, where I am not landing a lot of the combos that I attempt, when I do land a combo that I have really been wanting to land, yeah, it feels incredible, and it makes you want to not only try it again, but it makes you want to actually up your own game next time. And so I have found myself spending a bunch of time on the same obstacles over and over and over again, because there's just that, like, internal desire to want to make it just a little bit cleaner, a little bit better, a little bit cleaner each time you attempt it. Now, obviously, everyone's experience is going to be a little bit different, and everybody enjoys different elements of games like this. So let me know in the comments down below not only what your favorite discipline in Riders Republic is, but whether or not you're excited for the skateboarding add-on and the skateboarding DLC, because I'd be really curious to know if y'all's feelings on that are similar to mine, or if you're maybe not as excited for it as you thought. But either way, I'm having an absolute blast in Riders Republic, and if y'all are enjoying the videos on this game, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all next time. Talk to y'all later.